Good day and welcome to Mayo Kings TV News. Now to begin the news, here are the headlines read by Tiniela Emanuela. Senator Nwankwo champions transformation of FCE Asaba into Federal University of Technology to drive innovation and economic growth in Delta. Delta University suspends academic activities after deadly clashes. Terrorism trial against Ogwashoko chief stalled again as prosecution team fails to appear in court. Tinubu promises economic rebound and urges prayers for soldiers amid Salah celebration. On entertainment, Thames received Diamond Award at Billboard Global Power Players event in London. On the business news, US is shifting from aid to trade in Nigeria. On the foreign scene, Israel strikes southern Beirut on eve of religious holiday. Plus, former Arsenal striker sentenced to 4 years in prison. Now the news in full. Senator Ned Nwankwo's legislative push to upgrade the Federal College of Education, Asaba, into the Federal University of Technology, Asaba, represents a bold and strategic initiative for us to reshape the educational and economic strategy of Delta State and the surrounding South-South region. This transformative proposal addresses urgent gaps in Nigeria's technological education infrastructure, while simultaneously laying the groundwork for job creation, innovation, and regional development. Bridging the technological education deficit, since its establishment in 1987, the Federal College of Education Technical Asaba has played a pivotal role in producing qualified technical educators. However, its current structure constrains its ability to offer advanced research programs and cutting-edge technological training. The transition aligns with the national objective to diversify the economy away from oil dependence by fostering a new generation of skilled professionals in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics field. The proposed university would become a nucleus for high-impact research and specialized training, equipping Nigerian youths with the tools to thrive in a knowledge-driven global economy. The management of Delta State University has suspended academic activities following insecurity bedeviling the institution's environment. The suspension was announced by the Vice Chancellor of the institution, Professor Samuel Asagba, via a statement issued on Wednesday. Some residents of the state earlier called for urgent action from Governor Oboyewere following the killing of a young man by kidnappers. Kidnapping incidents have reportedly become widespread across the state, particularly in Abraka, where Desu is located. It was reported that fresh violence erupted in Abraka earlier on Wednesday, following a deadly clash between security operatives and suspected kidnappers that left 4 suspects dead. The incident, which took place in the Makiti Bishi area near the railway station, sparked a wave of reprisals targeting Hausa residents, with fears of full-scale ethnic conflict brewing. In response to this, local youths were seen confronting Hausa individuals, and threats to burn down Hausa-populated areas in Abraka have emerged. The trial of Chief Michael Nwankwo, the Yase of Ugwashoko, and 4 others over allegation of terrorism, attempted murder, malicious damage, was stalled once again on Wednesday at the Federal High Court in Asaba due to the absence of the prosecution team. The delay occurred despite the case having been rescheduled under suit number FHC Asaba 18C24 and follows a pattern of adjustment that have hampered progress in the high-profile matter. The latest development may be linked to the ongoing nationwide strike by the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, JUSUN, although sources indicate that members of the prosecution team had previously arrived in Asaba in anticipation of the trial's commencement. Presiding over the matter, Justice Olufunmilola Agbeje adjourned proceedings to July 23, 2025, directing that all relevant court documents be served on both prosecution and defense terms ahead of the next hearing date. Meanwhile, during the brief proceedings, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Efe Akpofure, counsel to the fifth defendant, Chief Nwankoni, made an oral application for bail. Justice Agbeje, however, declined the request, ruling that the administrative bail earlier granted to Chief Nwankoni would remain in effect pending next adjournment. The repeated adjournment and absence of the prosecution have raised concerns over delays in high-profile judicial proceedings, particularly those involving serious charges such as terrorism and attempted murder. President Bola Tinubu has called on Nigerians to be patient with his administration's reform, assuring that the toughest days are behind us. Tinubu, who gave the assurance in a message to mark the 2025 Eid-el-Kabir celebration on Thursday, said that though the journey had not been easy, his economic reforms had already started yielding positive results. The president also urged Nigerians to continue to pray for the armed forces and security personnel who are risking their lives daily to keep the country safe. Reflecting on the significance of Eid-el-Kabir, Tinubu called on Muslims and Nigerians to embrace the values of sacrifice, selflessness, and compassion, which the festival symbolizes. He highlighted the example of Prophet Ibrahim's devotion as a model for national renewal, unity, and perseverance. Also, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, and some state governors have called on Nigerians, particularly Muslims, to use the occasion of Eid el-Kabir festival to pray for the unity and prosperity of the country. Atiku, in a statement from his media office on Thursday, also called on those in leadership to demonstrate compassion and place the well-being of the people above all, in accordance with the divine guidance. Now on entertainment news. Grammy-winning Nigerian singer Temilade Openiyi, popularly known as Tems, was among the honorees at the inaugural Billboard Global Power Players event on Wednesday at Shoreditch House in East London, England. She was honored alongside veteran British singer Sir Elton John and Empire founder and CEO Ghazi Shami. Tems received the Diamond Award, which was presented by incoming Billboard Africa editor Kosiniati Komolu. Nigerian musician and YNBL label boss Olamide presented the award to Empire CEO. Also, the first ever UK Power Players chart was also launched at the event. Additionally, Tems is the most awarded African artist in Billboard's history. Last year, she became the first Nigerian woman to be honored at the Billboard's Women in Music event. Now on the business news. The United States Ambassador to Nigeria, Richard Mills Jr., has said that the US will be focusing on private sector-led investment instead of aid in its engagement with Nigerian and sub-Saharan Africa. Mills Jr. said this on Thursday at the Fireside Chat held at the Lagos Business School under the theme Toward a Robust US-Nigeria Commercial and Investment Partnership. Noting that Nigeria is the US' second largest trade partner in Africa, with bilateral trade hitting about $13 billion at the end of 2024. To achieve this goal, Mills Jr. stated that the last year, the US Department of Commerce, working together with Nigeria's Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, signed a commercial and investment partnership agreement. He explained that both governments have agreed to establish working groups in agriculture, tech, and infrastructure. The ambassador also commended the current administration for its listening ears and reforms. He, however, noted that electric power distribution and transmission capacity is still a serious blockage for a lot of US firms in Nigeria. especially in the tech sector, which is very interested in taking advantage of Lagos and the country's incredible talent in the tech field. Now, on the foreign scene, Israel has carried out airstrikes on Beirut's southern suburbs, stating it was targeting Hezbollah's drone production. The attack on Thursday night, the eve of Eid-el-Adha, one of the most important celebrations in Islam, followed evacuation warnings for several buildings in the area, where Hezbollah is based in the capital. The Israel Defense Forces (IDF) said it had identified Hezbollah units producing thousands of drones on the ground, funded by Iranian terrorists. The attack occurred despite a ceasefire being in effect between Israel and the armed group for the past 6 months. However, Lebanon's prime minister has said he strongly condemns the strikes. Lebanese President Joseph Aoun described the strikes as a flagrant violation of an international accord, while noting it had occurred on the eve of a sacred religious festival. Israel's defense minister Israel Katz praised the military's perfect execution of the strikes, saying Israel holds the Lebanese government directly responsible for preventing violations of the ceasefire and all terrorist activity. Israel's military said Hezbollah's extensive use of drones was central to its attacks on Israel, calling the activities a blatant violation of the understandings between Israel and Lebanon. In the meantime, Israel warned again on Friday that it will keep striking Lebanon until militant group Hezbollah has been disarmed, hours after it hit South Beirut in what Lebanese leaders called a major violation of a November ceasefire. Now, in the world of sport, an ex-Arsenal Academy footballer has been jailed for 4 years for his involvement in a £600,000 drug smuggling plot after a court aired his financial difficulties after a period out of contract led to a catastrophic error of judgment. J. Emmanuel Thomas was arrested after officers from the National Crime Agency seized an estimated £600,000 of cannabis as it was being brought through Stansted Airport by two women he recruited, his girlfriend and a friend. An earlier hearing at Chelmsford Crown Court in Essex was told the women believed they were importing gold. But border force officers detected roughly 60 kg of the drug in two suitcases, which had arrived in the UK from Bangkok, Thailand via Dubai. He pleaded guilty at an earlier hearing to fraudulent evasion of the prohibition on the import of cannabis between July 1st, 2024 and September 2nd, 2024. Emmanuel Thomas was sacked by Scottish Championship side Greenock Morton after his arrest last year. The footballer, whose former clubs include Ipswich, Bristol City, QPR, Livingston, Aberdeen and Tyneside, PPT Rayon, was sentenced on Thursday. Now to end the news, a quick recap on our headlines. Senator Wonkwo champions transformation of FCE Asaba into Federal University of Technology to drive innovation and economic growth in Delta. Delta University suspends academic activities after deadly clashes. Terrorism trial against Ogwashiko chief stalled again as prosecution team fails to appear in court. Tinubu promises economic rebound and urges prayers for soldiers amid Salah celebration. On entertainment, Thames receives Diamond Award at Billboard Global Power Players event in London. On the business news, US are shifting from aid to trade in Nigeria. On the foreign scene, Israel strikes southern Beirut on eve of religious holiday. On the world of sports, former Arsenal striker sentenced to 4 years in prison. That's the news as read and edited by Tinella Emanuela. Thanks for watching.